Hello, hello, everybody, and welcome back to another fabulous WeVideo webinar, a very special edition of our EdTech Spotlight that we run here every Tuesday on our WeVideo webinar channels. And today, as you can see, we have two fabulous guests on the show with us today to highlight how we can transform reading and writing into dynamic multimedia experiences with WeVideo and our special friends from Book Creator. So thank you so much for joining us. And we have, as you can see, David Hotler, the community manager from Book Creator, on the show with us today. And of course, EdTech coach extraordinaire, Mr. Alex Isaacs. He is also joining us today. How are we doing today, guys?
Man, fantastic to be here. Thank you so much, Ryan. It's a pleasure.
So excited. I was just rocking out to the background music during that intro. Very, very thrilled to share some great pieces of work that hopefully people will take away from today and use at the end of their school year.
Yeah, fantastic. And as we get into it, we did have a third guest on the show, Kristina Holzweiss, who is a shared WeVideo and Book Creator brand ambassador. I just wanted to point out that she's not able to join us live for this webinar today, but you will see some of the amazing content that she produced for us. We're going to run a special pre-recorded bit at the end here to show off her use cases of app smashing both of our products. And that's what we're here to talk about. We're here to discuss how WeVideo and Book Creator together can help enhance and create those dynamic multimedia experiences. So that's what I'm going to share a little bit about how WeVideo participates in that. David's going to come on and share with us how Book Creator fits into that. And then Alex is going to share some projects and lessons that he's designed to kind of pull all those pieces together and tie that bow around how you can enhance literacy with those multimedia experiences. And so all of you today that are viewing us live, if you have any comments, if you have thoughts about how you've done this work in your classrooms with literacy, or how you've enhanced reading and writing using educational technologies, we always love to hear from you. So please be sharing those thoughts in the chat. If you're viewing us on YouTube or through LinkedIn or on X, Twitter, please also utilize that comment feature. Let us know your thinking. Share with us how you approach this subject as well, because again, you're doing the work out there, and we hope to highlight that work on our platform today. So yeah, let's jump into that and talk a little bit about what we all feel is a dynamic multimedia experience. I guess let's start there. Like, what is that? Let's talk about what that is, and think about, like, when you talk about multimedia and you talk about the experience of creating something and then connecting that to something like literacy, what about that enhances maybe some of those more traditional literacies?
David, you want to go ahead?
I mean, I think anytime you can build in these multi-sensory experiences where, when we're working with video, we have to be very mindful of everything that we put together, just like a chef is when they're baking a cake. And it becomes evident and apparent when we hit that play button and we're rewatching, we're hearing all these extra things that we don't want or need. And so the very act of just creating a space where we have to be intentional about everything that goes in means that we have to start with good writing. Yeah. It becomes obvious when the script isn't done. It becomes obvious when someone didn't storyboard things and really write out what the scene should include, or draft out their shot list. And I know that's very technical writing and might not play into some of the greater like depths of literacy, but literacy is everywhere, right? So from my perspective, I was a CTE teacher. I tried to pull in literacy as much as I could. And shout out to everyone from Virginia in the chat. I was a CTE teacher in Hampton, Virginia for 4 years, and then was a CITT. But sorry, I tried to bring literacy in the ways that made sense with my content. And I guess that's really the point that I'm trying to make here, is that when we start to build in these multisensory experiences, we're building in layers to the product that students are going to produce, which allows more avenues for the content to pass through the hands of our students in different ways and in different shapes. They're not just writing it, they're bringing it to life with a video. And that's a little bit of an extra thought process. And I think that's an important element to note here, that we're higher depth of knowledge. There's more student buy-in because they get this opportunity to play to their strengths. And, you know, as a teacher, we're beaming because it's content and curriculum rich.
Absolutely. And we have a shout out from Patricia saying her family lives in Hampton, Virginia. So great connection there.
All right.
All the Virginia folks in the house.
I was a Phoebus Phantom for 4 years. We won the state championship one year when I was a teacher. So it's
very cool.
Okay, I'm gonna zip it.
No, that's great. And shout out as you continue to see folks that you might recognize in the chat. Just give them shout outs. I see a couple of WeVideo brand ambassadors out there.
Tamara, my brother, lives in Mechanicsville, which is
there we go. Virginia. There's Virginia all over the map here, which is great.
Tamara just applied to be an ambassador right now. Book Creator, we're accepting ambassador applications right now. Just not shameless plug. Sorry.
No, we can. Hey, you know what? Shameless plugs all day long. But let's get Alex's take on what we were talking about, because I think that's an important piece that you brought up about. You know, there's some critical thinking that goes into the process of creating media, and I think that's something that we always like to highlight at WeVideo, is that moving up, you know, into higher order thinking skills, analyzing and creating are some really important functions of that. And so, you know, this kind of creation experience, or adding multimedia into the literacy process, or, you know, script writing becomes storyboarding, becomes, you know, video editing becomes media production, can really activate those higher order thinking skills.
Yeah, and to kind of piggyback off of that, you kind of took the words right out of my mouth. Really, the 4 C's, the 5 C's, depending on how many C's you kind of believe in. But for me, it's that communication piece as well. Kind of better understanding your audience, kind of basing your material, your media on that. And it kind of goes all the way back to like the cave paintings type stuff, those visual forms of media today. It's allowing students to use those critical thinking skills, make connections, collaborate with others, build those 21st century learning skills that we're trying to prepare them with as they leave us. So, you know, using different types of digital media, especially for storytelling. You know, somebody just standing up there and giving notes all day, or just kind of talking like ahead the entire time, that's not going to be as impactful as actually sharing experiences, and often sharing them with either images or video. So for me, those types of media actually make you feel something, which is going to lead to more engagement, offering some choice in these activities so our students are able to share their voice in a way that they're comfortable with. And then it just, in the end, it's kind of just a trickle down into enhancing curriculum and just making everything more kind of holistic, of immersing kids in these opportunities where they get the chance to be creative and also show what they know in a literacy sense.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
go ahead, David.
I'm just going to chime in and say, if you're not good at collaboration, good luck making a video together as a group, because it's infuriating as a participant. It can be somewhat frustrating as a teacher to watch. But there is no better way to test the group's collaboration skills than to say, hey, go make this video that's complex.
And something I will just highlight as I get into just a brief overview of the WeVideo product is our real-time collaboration, right? Allowing students to all access one project together at the same time, creating a piece of media together to, again, practice those communication and collaboration skills. And then just to you know, follow up and piggyback off of what you both were saying, the multimodal experience that's created, right? When you look at a piece of media and then you embed it in something like a book, right? You're creating the opportunity for students and consumers of that media to access different modes in their brains, which help us interpret and help us understand and make sense of the content. If you have images and sound and video all working together, rather than each of those media by itself, right? And so the research on multimodal learning, I think we know at this point that if you're gonna have those different modes of understanding, it's gonna create a much richer picture for someone who's consuming that in order to understand it and interpret it. So that's something that when we were doing this activity together, and just so you all know, a Book Creator and WeVideo came together for Be an Author Month. We did a great World Storytelling Day project that Alex is going to share some about, and it's kind of riffed on since then. And that really became clear to me in my mind when I started seeing the examples is, wow, this is a really cool multimodal experience for the consumer of the work, right? as the producer, you're making all of these different kinds of media experiences, but then on the other end, somebody that's watching this, that's being able to access it, has a much fuller understanding of the picture that you're trying to paint, which is super cool.
Yeah. I think one of the things that we spoke about was Book Creator being one of the best places to showcase your WeVideo work.
Yep.
And really there, again, like building in this idea that Book Creator is just that next stage, that next layer of the learning where we can bring in reflective practices through voice and like the multimodal reflective practices, feedback practices, as well as assessment pieces. So yeah, I think we were saying it on the call, Book Creator, WeVideo, just they need to go together because they work so well together.
100%, absolutely. So let's check out the platforms, and then let's see those examples. And I think that's a good segue into the next part of this. And so what we're going to do now is I'm going to jump into WeVideo and just show a couple folks that are viewing us live or on demand that are not familiar with our interface. I'm just going to give you a brief overview of that. Then I'll turn it over to David to do the same for Book Creator, and then we'll get into the meat of the presentation today with Alex. It's just going to be a couple minutes from me, a couple minutes from David, and then we're going to let Alex take over. So I'll see you both in just a bit, and I'll give everybody a quick overview of WeVideo. All right, so a couple of things that that I want to point out to you today. If you have a WeVideo subscription, or if you don't and you're in a WeVideo trial, and if you're at the end of this webinar interested in trying out the product, I can give you information on how to do that if you don't have a subscription. If you do and you're familiar with the interface, a couple of things that I know you're going to see through Alex's examples and Kristina's examples is our next gen editing space. So this is our new sort of architecture of the product that has a number of different features that you're going to want to access to really be able to, again, do that great app smashing that we're going to talk about and that Alex is going to share. And one of those is our assignment ideas library. So much of the content that we designed for World Storytelling Day was very much focused, and for that, the Be an Author Month collaboration was very much focused on our assignment ideas. And what these are a turnkey video assignments, multimedia projects that you as a teacher can quickly and easily assign to your students in your WeVideo classes. So these come with student instructions, they come with teacher tips, they come with sample projects, an example of what a finished product could look like, and an explainer video. So it's really a full kit, a full scaffold for you to share with your students in order to get that media process started quickly, and also give you inspiration if you're not quite sure where to start or how to get students into the editing process or the video creation process. This is a really great library to start your journey into video creation. So I know something that we're going to talk about today is like a year in review, and we do have, and at the end of this, I'll share some information about our May and June Creative Challenge, which is around your year in review. But we do have an assignment idea where you're asking students to create a year in review of looking back and reflecting on what they're proud of. And again, as David mentioned, encouraging the reflection process. This is a really great activity to do that, and you're going to see that later on as well. So again, as I said, student instructions, you've got preloaded media, starting blocks template, which is a preloaded video editing timeline, which I'm not going to show you today, but that's just meaning the media is already there and ready for you to start editing. Comes along with some teacher notes. Again, all of our work is aligned to ISTE standards for students, and where applicable, Common Core State standards, and for this one, specifically for literacy, and some next generation science standards. So where that's applicable, those have been included here as well. We give you some tips. There's also some hyperlinks in here that if we're linking to more information about the assignment and how you can facilitate this in your classroom with your students. So just wanted to point that out. This is really the space that we want you to gain inspiration from, that we want you to use and share with your students. And then the other place that you're going to create from is our project section. And this is a capsule of all of the video projects that you and your students are creating that don't necessarily have to be tied to assignments. So some of the work that you're going to see in Alex's presentation and what he is showing us can be done in this space as well. And this is, again, a method to perform video editing or video production or multimedia creation, because we don't just have video. You can also export as MP3 in an audio format, and as a .gif file as well. So again, more options in terms of the media you are producing within the WeVideo platform. So again, giving students choice and options as to what kinds of media that they're making. And just a quick just a quick plug for one of our newer features, which is playlists. And this is a way that you can create video playlists or sequences of videos that you can share with others as kind of a celebration, a showcase of student work, a showcase of staff work, if that's something that you are highlighting this year. And you can grab videos from your exports and sequence them as playlists and get kind of that video sort of stacked video playlist to share and showcase work. So that's another great highlight and things you can do with some of the new features of our next gen editor. So again, not just a video editing software, but really a place to create multimedia, create media to be shared and to use to celebrate and reflect on the learning process, which I think is a great segue to where Book Creator fits in with all of this. And so let's dive in. Like, we got the media creation, and now we have this beautiful container to share and showcase your work. Oh.
Okay, so let me unmute myself. We just talked about doing it.
Yes.
Yeah, Ryan, absolutely. It is a fantastic place to showcase student work, as well as a multitude of other things, because Book Creator is loved by teachers and students. It's the most inclusive way to create content in your classroom, and it's something that you can use in each of the subjects, because it's very much a blank canvas starting point that allows teachers to adapt the platform and the needs of their students. And it's built for everyone. We design this for students on the edges of our classroom, because what's good for those students is good for all students. And so at its core, at the ethos of what we do, is supporting students that need extra accessibility, or that are incredibly young, right? And that just aren't gonna play well with a complicated interface. We have education at our core. We're purpose built for education. We don't work in any other industry. And so we listen to schools and teachers and educators very closely, and we pay very close attention to what's going on in education, so that we can make Book Creator the best that it can be. And we use Book Creator because that we know that students love creating. This is why we have them use things like WeVideo. When we give students an authentic audience, they're more likely to put in that energy that we know produces flow and produces these incredible outcomes, and that has students working on them after hours and turning them in late just because they wanted to make it better, right? We see that all the time with Book Creator, and it's so simple to use. I'm going to show you. I'm actually using Book Creator to show you this right now, and I'm going to dive into the editor and just show you one of the features that really has gotten me so excited. So one of the newest features that we have here in the platform is a translation feature. So we can actually just select a text box. Por ejemplo, si hablas español, you can change the text right inside the platform, and just like that, change the text box. But in addition to this really simple interface, we've stayed true to just sticking with 3 buttons on the platform. You'll see them in the upper right hand corner up here, but everything kind of starts with the plus button that lets you add images. It lets you add your voice. It lets you add video, which I know we're going to hear a lot about in this episode, but we also have a video recorder. It's really basic. It's not as bells and whistles as WeVideo, and it's a great place to get started learning about how to use video for an educational purpose, like a reflection video. And if you're going to record your voice or record a video, that translate feature translates right into it. And so you can translate your audio hotspots into multiple languages. If you have a multi-language classroom, you can also add quickly add subtitles to the bottom of your videos. And then we're linked to a bunch of external apps that you can use to bring in some really fun excitement to your book, as well as connected to the Noun project with just thousands of symbols and shapes. So it's super easy to use Book Creator to start creating in your classroom right away. And to help you with that, we've put together some getting started resources. So the link to this book will be in the chat that you can get. And if you're watching the recording, it'll be down there in the description. But we put together some really great getting started resources that are really low risk, really designed to let the students shine with who they are, but also get to know the platform a bit, which is great for you as a teacher. And then once you've started using it a little bit, we suggest you jump into our community of collaborators, because it's a great place where we're sharing resources and connecting with one another. And then you're going to start discovering things on the platform like our Discover section, which is actually filled with a bunch of ready to use templates where you just click a remix button that makes a copy just for you. And then you can customize it for your students and assign it right through your LMS. So we're definitely built to integrate well and play well with the other spaces that you're already using. And of course, we have a free certification course that you can take on our website. All you need to do is go to app.bookcreator.com/certification. And it's free for anyone. It's about an hour and a half. It teaches you all the basics and gets you completely ready to feel comfortable using this with your students. Again, I can't stress this enough. It's a very simple platform. So teachers don't spend a lot of time learning how to understand and adopt this thing because it's that easy, right? You'll just dive right in. And then I threw in a page. If you want to connect with us on social media, we're always looking to share out the amazing things that our community is doing. And I was just looking down the chat here, and there's just so many people from our community that have jumped into this webinar and that are chiming in. And it's just absolute pleasure to see you all here. But I'm really, really excited to see what has come from the World Storytelling Day project that we ran during Be an Author Month. Because Alex has volunteered to sort of spruce it up, but I think he's going to take us kind of back in time and then take us to where we are now. But it is a beautiful example of the way these two platforms work well together.
It absolutely is. And I think that's, again, simplicity, simplicity, simplicity. Both platforms are designed for education. Yeah. They're designed for educators. They're designed for students. And that really facilitates an ease of use and a really quick adoption in order to get your hands on these experiences. And I think Alex has got a great way and is going to show you some really, really great ways to get in on using both of these products.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. So I can echo what both Ryan and David said. Both great platforms that integrate well into other platforms, allowing for multiple accessibility features. And I couldn't be more excited to be here today representing both WeVideo and Book Creator as an ambassador. And I'm just excited to share some of these different books that were created for the purpose of World Storytelling Day, share with you my example to kind of see what this inspired me to do. And then also share a new book template that was created specifically for today that I hope everyone will take away and use in their class with however much school you have left for this year. So this book right here, I cannot take credit for this. This is a wonderful book made within Book Creator by Stu Jernigan, who's a fantastic member of the WeVideo team. Ryan can say more about him later. But this is a template that was created for World Storytelling Day. It comes with a teacher guide, the ability to create your account on WeVideo for free to start a 30-day trial if you have yet to do so, links to each of the pages. It gives you instructions on how to remix the book. So really comprehensive activities for your students to complete. So really what you have here is you have the opportunity to create a GIF name cover that you could use to kind of have as the cover of your book. I kind of took it to me and I wanted to have something more on a global scale, and I'll show you mine in a moment. But what's also something that I've become inspired by recently is adding these tips and tricks over to the side of a page. So my book creator friends out there who are either just starting or have used the platform pretty extensively and haven't seen this used, I was inspired between Stu and Katie Fielding to kind of start incorporating those tips for success over on the side. And you'll see that in my own example soon enough. So Stu did an amazing job linking all instructions, linking activities to the different challenges that are kind of relatable within WeVideo. You could see that within Book Creator, a WeVideo video. I have a tough time saying WeVideo video. I was typing out some of my scripts for my instructions, and I had a tough time with that. I had to come up with a lot of different alternatives. But you could see that all you have to do is click on that play button. Actually, we're in Create right now. I'm sorry, we're in the editing mode. But in this mode, we can go Open Link, and you're going to be able to find out all about Stu, who did a great job with some stock footage that is directly on WeVideo's library, as Ryan said earlier. You also have the opportunity to create a me and 4 GIFs. And again, I'm going to share each of these with you. The ones that I created, Stu did amazing reference examples for both students and teachers alike for you to share. And the thing that I thought about most for this was, I miss kind of being in the classroom, where this would have been a wonderful activity to start the year off, not only to let my students get to know me, but for me to get to know them, their interests, what represents them. And now we get into the stuff where we're incorporating even more literacy, where you can now kind of smash in a poetry unit where this where I'm from activity. And again, Stu did a great job providing an example for everyone to use. And he even provided this storyboard template that, as you can see, embeds right within Book Creator, that you could kind of plan out what you're going to be talking about. And then we've got this just very bold, sharing your story for World Storytelling Day, editing this book to fit your needs, remixing it, and then sharing it with your students, and then letting them kind of get the creative juices flowing and have a great time sharing more about themselves. Now, for me, I kind of wanted to do something a little bit kind of like just showing the global scale as far as my book cover. So I did this. It's an app smash between Book Creator and WeVideo. This is my name GIF, where I'm sure Book Creator is going to get to the point where we're going to have GIFs beyond Giphy being able to come right in. But this is my little name GIF that I created. Now I'm going back and forth between GIF and GIF. I'm all over the place. But I have this that I created as a result of Stu's amazing instructions. It's available for people to look at. And for me, I was kind of tapping into my Aquarius side, the water sign. So I have that one going right there with the sun setting in the background. And then I kind of took it a step further and said, I'm going to edit an image that kind of represents me a bit as well. Now, this one here, I have to show this off because this goes back to my teaching days, where look at all the different sides that you're able to see from me as a result of being able to go into WeVideo, bring in multiple videos, kind of create that 4-square effect. I brought in my logo that represents me in the middle as well. I'm hitting a golf ball. I'm doing air drums to Phil Collins in the Air Tonight. There's one of me spinning like Michael Scott. I'm throwing a paper cup at the then first grade son of my partner, Lois. These are all me representing myself. It was fun. This was hybrid and remote learning days for me. So you could see where my head was at certain points, but I just love the ability to create on WeVideo. And this was a really fun project as well. So think about what your students would do. Think about how much they love creating and looking at GIFs. So that would be a really fun activity within Stu's book to kind of share with your students. Now, these are the videos, and I'm not going to play them. If you'd like to look at these, you can. These are the videos that prove to me that I'm kind of getting old, because I watch these 2 videos and I almost get choked up. I look at the New York Rangers winning about 30 years ago the Stanley Cup when I was in, God help me, 3rd grade. And the guitar that I picked out, the acoustic background that I picked out from WeVideo's library kind of tugs on my heartstrings. And it was just such a fun experience to really just use purely stock footage, stock audio, and then me narrate in order to produce a video that even really shared about my love for my partner, Lois, and how much that's the thing above all else. I like golf. I like all that stuff. But for me, it's about hanging out with my partner, Lois, and collaborating. And last but not least, the where I'm from. This was the example that incorporates poetry. This is probably the thing that I'm most proud of in recent time. Like I've kind of stepped away from the video creation piece since I've stepped out of the classroom, other than professional learning and, tutorial videos. But WeVideo and Book Creator, these projects have inspired me to kind of get back into that, share a little bit more about myself. And what I really wanted to do very quickly is kind of just go into WeVideo and show with you, there she is, there's Lois, and all of these different things, the ability to add in that text overlay, that's high def once I export it, the ability to bring in someone walking, where I was almost talking about my preferences for a date. I enjoy taking long walks. I don't know where I was going with that, but I found this stock footage that was really appropriate for me. And, no issues with copyright infringement or anything like that. You're building in those digital literacy and citizenship skills directly into this platform. I was even able to find chicken tikka masala, my favorite Indian food, within this, plus this golf course flyover from a drone that I don't have access to. But the only aspect is that the other great thing about WeVideo is you're able to bring in your own media as well. And I would, again, if you want to see me frolic with my partner Lois, even though I doubt many of you want to, that was something that I brought in that, to me, when I look back on my ed tech career, that's one of the most fun times that I've had. And we both got the ambassadorship in that video. So we were just very proud, and I'm very happy that I was able to incorporate both high def stock footage and my own footage into one comprehensive video that I hope you'll be willing to check out later on. And then I just kind of reiterated that World Storytelling Day type deal. And I couldn't have been more proud to participate in this one and share it with the world. I might start sharing the videos a little bit more. I've only shared the one, but I might share the remaining videos. But, you know, Stu inspired me, WeVideo, Book Creator, all these great people on these different communities and teams inspired me to create this Story Sparks Telling My Tale template. Now, I am also, I've been inspired by a lot of people, as you could tell recently, and platforms, but I got to give a shout out. I was at the webinar last week for Book Creator for Katie Fielding and her science and STEM journals. Hopefully she watches this or is watching. I just really love the idea of that Wakelet companion collection. So I'm going to be working on, hopefully by week's end, now I'm putting it out into the world. I've got to meet that deadline now. Hopefully I can get a Wakelet companion collection that allows for a little bit more detail, teacher tips. That's my goal. And I'm very excited to even maybe develop this book with even more activities, which is a great aspect of Book Creator. Whatever you edit is then automatically kind of published out to everybody where they can then remix that new version. So incorporated a lot of aspects of Book Creator. You could see with the GIFs and the animated emojis. We've got some Microsoft, Microsoft Designer graphics that I brought in. I couldn't be more excited to share what I created. I've got a teacher guide for everybody. I incorporated the same instructions that are slightly tweaked that Stu incorporated into his World Storytelling Day book. And my main motive was to offer activities that were kind of timeless throughout the year. It didn't have to be for World Storytelling Day, but also could apply to that. So to me, I think you have 3 activities where if you're kind of looking around for ideas for end of the school year, I think you're going to be able to take this away. And if your students have a certain level of competency with, digital skills as far as being able to create videos or work on Book Creator, I think that they'll be able to knock it out of the park. And I'd love for you to tag me on any type of social to let me know that you're using it. So we've got all these activities available here. We've got links available to you. And we're going to start by giving kids the opportunity to add a selfie about themselves and give a little bit more information about, what they are into as far as creating digital media. Or do they like writing? Do they like video, audio, images? They're going to get the opportunity to share more about themselves with you. And I love the idea of taking this as a collaborative book and kind of merging them together and sharing this as an end of a year project with parents and guardians. I think it would be amazing. Now, another thing that I could share that I don't think David did, but I'm just going to add this, and I know that he shared about Translate. I'm sorry, let me go into this right here. So you have the transcripts available. I always am trying to make things as accessible as possible for our multilingual and neurodivergent learners. I really kept in mind for this project, I wanted to use Book Creator as much as possible for the text so that people would be able to translate that. And you could drop a translation on this transcript as well. So you have the opportunity to take any of this text and translate it and then share it with your diverse learners and have them be, working on the same material, but also making it more accessible to them. So not feeling like they're doing something very different from the rest of their classmates while still having them participate and share their voice. So I tried to incorporate audio instructions as much as possible. I linked WeVideo in the top left corner along with some prompts for this year in review. Now, again, Ryan mentioned WeVideo is running their creative challenge. I'm going to be incorporating within that Wakelet collection, that one specifically, in addition to ones that kind of relate to the next 2 activities that I share with you. But basically what I did here is I offered kind of these white spaces, framed them as best I could, added some emojis and GIFs to make it fun. And then I have those audio instructions for anybody who might be looking for more detail. But what you're going to do is you're going to take one of these prompts over here on the left. I guess I can zoom in very quickly for everybody. I gave you these prompts. Now, you want to have a prompt that's not on here, change it. Give that to your students. Not only does WeVideo have the ability to open up those lessons and have those pre-made editing templates, but you also have the ability to just assign a project that you create that's original. So these are different types of prompts that I came up with that hopefully you feel are really reflective for your students, giving them that opportunity to really have a retrospective on their school year. But then as we talked about earlier with those multimodal forms of digital media, We're going to have an image that describes student school year, their favorite memory that they could use the text tool, the thing they're most proud of where they're going to incorporate an audio message, and then finally kind of resizing of WeVideo upload into that bottom left space that either they could do with their groups, their friends, a teacher or two. You could interview a teacher. You could interview a classmate about their best times in the year. The possibilities are really endless when it comes to a year in review type of activity, especially with all that WeVideo and Book Creator offers. So this is your first chance to kind of have this side activity in addition to WeVideo's monthly challenge that they're promoting right now. Now, the next one for me is, to me, telling your story is all about food. You know, this is something where I incorporated this in my Where I'm From video that I did in response to Stu's template. But for me, I just find this page to be engaging. I feel like if I presented this even to my 8th graders in a math class, they would be happy to kind of complete this. So really on this page, you're going to create either a WeVideo voiceover over stock images or stock footage of the dish that you're doing. And then you're going to resize it and place it into that little video player in the top left corner. Or you could simply really have a great time with your families, kind of filming each other, cooking a very important dish in your culture. So talking about your culture, getting that cultural literacy, learning about other students' cultures and their beliefs and their traditions, familial and otherwise. That's what this activity is going to give you a chance to do. So, you know, we've got a spot for them to share a recipe that's influential with them. I made it where these different text boxes underneath can be edited to fit your needs, but I just wanted people to be able to kind of share some photos that represents the food that they love to eat, the dishes that represent their cultures. And this is a great opportunity for them to do that on this page. So again, voice instructions right here with captions that are very accessible for you and your students. And over time, even more companion pieces that'll give a little bit more guidance, get you ready to hit the ground running with this template. Now, the last one, probably the most involved with traditional literacy standards and otherwise, is this fairy tale remix planning page. So I really wanted to make it where you could connect it to the content that you're teaching in your ELA class, or you could try to make this cross-curricular within your class, because this is fully remixable. You don't like the prompts, change them. You know, you don't want my baritone New York accent talking to your kids, delete those and bring in your own. You could always copy and paste the transcript and then kind of just reread that. I'm good with that. So on this page, it's kind of the planning page, getting kids to kind of pick their favorite fairy tale that they want to remix. They're going to have to, you know, just kind of intrinsically think about character analysis, story structure, setting, all of these different things that are incorporated within these 3 kind of simple little whiteboards that you see here up on stage. So it starts off with figuring out what aspect of the tale you're going to change. And I provided you 4 options, but you could always do something else where kids will be able to drag and drop that oval over the aspect that they want to change. In the middle, I gave you some prompts as far as how they could respond with text. How did this impact the story's outcome? Does it push traditional fairy tale messages? How does this transform the story? You're asking those kids, like we mentioned before, to tap into those critical thinking skills and determine their audiences and all of that good stuff that's going to help them prepared with those 21st century learning skills that we all want them to have. And then finally, that remix piece for a reflection. Now that we've recreated this, let's think about, you know, is there anything specific that drew me towards this? Is this another thing that's a part of your culture or something that your family read to you as a kid? Would you like to add an audio message for more accessibility and detail? You're giving them that choice. That was one thing that I really kept in mind with this template. And then I was also prompting kids to start thinking about what part of this changed fairy tale would you want to record via video or with a voiceover. So after that, we got both the easel and the big screen TV on stage. I spent some time kind of going into Book Creator's images, the GIFs. I even got the WeVideo little action kind of clippy thing with more instructions in the top right corner. I gave you some prompts in the top left on that using WeVideo little hint page. And this is going to give you some different aspects for kids to consider as they record a video that kind of really picks out a certain point in that story, hopefully either at the climax or the rising action, or, you know, you could even assign the part of the story that you want your kids to kind of focus on within their video. So left side, they're going to have the opportunity to either use some type of design app to create a picture, but they don't really have to go anywhere other than Book Creator. There's so much available to create images on here. And then one more time, they're going to bring in their WeVideo upload into that big screen TV to share with the world. I mean, I can only imagine how creative kids could be remixing a fairy tale and then getting together to actually record, incorporate music, incorporate transitions, and really make something very dynamic. So, you know, I was very excited to share this with you. Really tried to focus on creating almost solely in Book Creator and WeVideo. There are some Canva aspects here and there, but Book Creator, I really did my very best to make it where those text boxes are very easily translatable and accessible to our students. So couldn't thank both platforms enough, David, Ryan, enough for the opportunity. As I told you backstage, only hope to represent both platforms to the fullest as an ambassador. And hopefully everybody could take at least one of these activities away by remixing this and using it with their class.
It's just an incredible example of the, you know, to encapsulate what we started to talk about, and the amount of, you know, creation that goes into this, the ability to then share what you've made, to connect all the dots, right, to provide that enhanced learning experience through technology. It's just fantastic example. So thank you so much for sharing those.
I appreciate
I have to say, I really appreciate the thought and detail that you put into making sure that A, it's accessible, and B, that it has that detailed set of instructions that is going to help the teachers that want to adopt this, but you know, don't want to build out all the things that you were mindful about. Do we have like a second for me to point out one thing?
For sure.
Can you go back to a page that has an audio hotspot? I just want to
Sure.
show. So any one of these audio hotspots here, if you right click on it, you can actually translate the audio as well. So
What?
you can you can have it read the hotspot in another language as long as you've created that transcript. So yeah, if you click Spanish and translate, it will create a second hotspot. So if you're a teacher who's in a multi-language classroom and you have newcomers or whatever the situation, you can really quickly make copies of any audio hotspots that Alex has made or that you make yourself. So I don't mean to, I didn't mean to hijack that. I just wanted to point that out.
No, that's fantastic, David.
Appreciate it, David. Yeah. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. And Alex, thank you again. And I think we do have some more, and we're going to, you know, I do want to get to our other ambassadors portion of the webinar, because she was able to create a recording for us to show off some different use cases of how she has app smashed WeVideo and Book Creator. So I did want to stream that for you all. That is a pre-recorded portion. As I said, Kristina was unable to join us live this morning, but she did produce kind of the topic that we discussed in our pre-show meeting. So I did want to get to that. And that's going to be about 13 minutes long. So we are going to be pushing up right to the hour, but I did want to make sure that the two of you hung on, and then we'll conclude the show afterwards and tie everything off and answer, maybe if we have time, we can answer some questions. But I have some resources to share, and you know, we can call out some other things. But in the meantime, I'd love for you all to watch as Kristina Holzweiss shares with us how she uses Book Creator and WeVideo. So I'm going to go ahead and add her stream to the stage. We'll hang out backstage and then come back on in the end. Okay, it looks like we're having some audio issues with the video recording. Let me try one thing here, because I do want to make sure that we play this. So I'm going to go ahead and remove. And then we're going to...
Thank you, Ryan and David, for inviting me to this webinar, Transforming Reading and Writing with Book Creator and Video. Book Creator and Video are two of my favorite web tools,
Okay, so that took care of
and
it.
they
So
really
I'll
can
let
help
that roll.
revolutionize the way that students engage with reading and writing. Book Creator is a fantastic, user-friendly platform that caters to students of all grade levels and abilities. It enables students to create interactive ebooks by adding text, images, and even recording audio directly within the platform. And I find this tool perfect for fostering creativity and making reading and writing more accessible and enjoyable for all of my students. On the other hand, WeVideo offers a robust suite of features for editing audio and video, including special effects like green screen, transitions, and even screen recording capabilities. With my students, we've produced polished multimedia projects such as videos, podcasts, are very popular right now, and even GIFs. So it's a very flexible platform and it allows for more of a comprehensive editing and professional finish than Book Creator does. But what I really like is how you can use these tools separately, or you can use them together. So students can app smash by using Book Creator and WeVideo. They can record and edit their projects in WeVideo and then just upload them to Book Creator. And this empowers the students to express themselves in ways that they can blend text, images, audio, and video into really cool projects. So this first project I want to show you is a very interesting app smash between WeVideo and Book Creator. First, the student took images of a book and uploaded it to Book Creator, and this was done in her American Sign Language class. Then she recorded herself signing the pages. She took the video of herself signing and uploaded it to WeVideo. She added some sound effects and she also did a voiceover. Then, after she exported it, she uploaded those videos into Book Creator. So, as you can see, we have the videos and the images in Book Creator. But again, she used the WeVideo to do some editing work before she uploaded it. Now, she could have recorded them directly through Book Creator, but then she wouldn't have been able to add the special effects or the narration without her speaking at the same time. So I think this is a really cool multimedia demonstration of using Book Creator and WeVideo to uh, to promote literacy, but it's not a speaking or a reading, but it is actually use American Sign Language. That's why I find it so interesting that you can use these tools not just for speaking, but also for using it for sign language, also for our special education students and our English language learners. So I really like this project.
The storm cloud had moved off, but Ruby felt that they'd done enough exploring for one day. It was time to go home. This way, everyone, she called.
So the second project I'd like to show you is a book that a group of students created. It was work-based learning students and speech and language students, and this book documents their journey of designing some buttons for our Teacher Appreciation Day, cutting out the designs, making the buttons, um, packaging the buttons, distributing them, and each student was able to basically uh, design their own page that showed what they learned during the project. I took lots of pictures and videos during their journey, and so we were able to upload those to Book Creator after I edited them. So I'm going to show you some of these videos, and I'm going to show you some of these pictures. So I'm in the edit mode because I want to show you how some of the effects work in Book Creator. So in Book Creator, you can add your sound. So I can go to plus and I can go to record and I can record sound bites. And that's what these three are. They are sound bites. So let's listen to one.
The word button is from the French word bouton, meaning bud, knob, or any round object. Buttons as ornaments date back several thousand years.
So let me show you what the transcript looks like. So here's your audio bite, and then right down here you can click it and you can open the transcript. And this is the transcript. I can also go in there and I can edit the transcript. Right? And then this way I can listen to it as well.
The word button is from the French word.
So I can replay it and then I can fix the transcript if there's any misspellings or capitals. But actually Book Creator is pretty good. Now if I go up to the letter I now for the inspector, I can now translate that transcript. And it says here, search for languages. So I'll choose Spanish. And we have different voices.
Esta es una grabación.
I'm going to translate that transcript. Now the translation feature, which is brand new to Book Creator, is pretty amazing. So here is the original and here is the translation. We have the transcript right here. It is translated. It says here powered by Google Translate. Again, I can edit it. But now it also translates the audio, which
Viene de la
just
palabra
amazing.
francesa bouton, que significa capullo, perilla o cualquier objeto redondo. Los botones, como adornos, se remontan a varios miles de años.
So with Book Creator, you're able to record an audio bite, then transcribe it, then translate that transcription, and that transcription creates a translated audio bite. I have never seen that before. I think that would be amazing for our English language learners and with our students with special needs. Now let's see how it works with video. This video has already been transcribed. As you can see the words right here. I'll play the video. And here are the words.
350 people. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Have a good day.
I will. You too.
Okay, we did upload that to WeVideo and we did add sound to it. And now we're going to show you how to work those captions. So you go up to the letter I again, you choose your language and add captions, and then you can even edit them. So the AI will generate the captions and then you can go in there and you can edit them. You could change how long they are. You could change the spelling. You can do them manually, but I find it much easier to have Book Creator do it automatically, and then I can go in there and on my own, I can edit the length and the spelling and the time and all those things. I'm going to go here and click the video. Then I'm going to go to the I for the inspector. I'm going to click Add Translation, and you can see all these different languages that you could translate into. I'm going to choose Ukrainian. It was selected before. I'm Ukrainian. I'm going to click Translate. Okay, and then I'm going to go in here.
350 people. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Have a good day.
I will. You too.
So as you can see, I went in there, I clicked the captions, and I clicked translate, and you could see them in there. So let's play it again full size. So the captions and the transcripts are some of my favorite features in Book Creator because I feel like it makes it so accessible for students with different needs. So if they need to see the text or if they need to hear something, it's so full of multimedia access. But I noticed one day that WeVideo also has subtitles, and not in the classic version and not when you're working on your video. But I went into some student work and I was using the next gen version. And I went to a student project and I reviewed the progress. And lo and behold, I saw right here subtitles. And I clicked subtitles and it will auto generate the subtitles. Now, you do need to view it within the progress like this because when you download it, it downloads the subtitles separate from the video. They're two different files. So I enjoy using Book Creator and WeVideo in the classroom because both tools empower students to share their voice and to tell stories. I like the fact that I can create assignments in libraries in Book Creator and I can create assignments in classes for WeVideo. Both of them include accessibility features, and both tools students can collaborate with one another, and I can see their work at any time. In this example, this is an assignment that I pushed out to a class through a library in Book Creator, and it was learning about how to sort laundry. It was our life skills students. So when I create assignments, I put directions on the outside so that they don't distract the students from their work. So you can see this is the book here in white, and here are the directions. Here's a drag and drop. And here is an area for the students to put a picture of themselves and put audio. And again, audio, and this one is their typing. So it gives them the different directions and different modalities as they're working through this little book about the different processes of doing laundry. So I think these graphic organizers are really great for students to organize their work as they're beginning to sort their information, do their research, and they can write information here, and they can also record their voice and record video. And then if I press the arrow here, you can see in the plus right here in the More section that there are a whole bunch of graphic organizers. And these are so amazing. We have planning, reading, writing, vocabulary, character, problem solving, science, compare, contrast, timeline, and reflection. So these will really help your students to organize themselves and create storyboards, whether they're going to use WeVideo for their videos or they're going to use Book Creator to tell their stories. These graphic organizers will really help them out. And I believe the benefit is the fact that my students can use whichever tool that they need to present their work. And it's a perfect medium for so many kids, range of levels, range of abilities, subject matter, what have you. Both of the tools are really amazing for promoting literacy and helping kids reflect on their writing and storytelling.
Fantastic job. Sorry again for some of those audio issues, but I'm glad we took a chance to show that because again, it really highlights other kinds of ways that you can see the really the way that both collaborative experiences in both products and sharing of media, I think was what the big component of that is in that way. So just comments from Alex and David before we sort of get into wrap up mode.
I mean, I'll let Alex wrap us up. Kristina is such a pleasure to work with. She always has such fresh ideas. And I just love the way that she reaches every student. So thank you so much for choosing to play that. It's such a bummer she couldn't be here
for sure.
to answer any questions that come in, but excellent share. Yeah.
Just how dynamic those student creations were. And I'm sure collaborating with teachers and other groups, just really stellar stuff. Again, wish she could have been here, but still great that we got a chance to see the amazing artifacts that she brought from her students. Couldn't have been more excited to have been a part of this, guys. I was very excited to be here. Loved kind of sharing the new creation and also all that Stu created in the WeVideo team. So just really looking forward to kind of building upon this, kind of incorporating these two platforms more often, and just very appreciative for the opportunity from you both.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for being here to show it off. And again, it was disappointing that Kristina wasn't here, but I'm glad we did have the time and the space to show that off and to learn from both of you about the wonderful ways that you can transform reading and writing into dynamic multimedia experiences using WeVideo and Book Creator. I wanted to take a chance just really quickly as we wrap up, all of the links that we shared in the chat, we will curate into a resource collection for you and share with you. And so you'll have access to those beyond the play of this webinar. I did want to point out too as well, I know you saw that you can become a certified author through Book Creator, and you can now become a certified creator and a certified educator through our WeVideo certifications. So if you head over to wevideo.com/certifications, you can access our new courses that can get you WeVideo certified, become a certified author, and then keep that app smashing love going by being a power user of both tools. It will only benefit you and your students in your teaching and learning practice. So I wanted to call that out. And then lastly, if you do want more information about how to start a trial of WeVideo, as Alex mentioned, it is in his book template, but you can also head over to this address. I'll drop this into the chat, and this will get you a 30-day trial if you're not already a WeVideo subscriber to test out some of those activities as you start to wrap up the school year, wherever you're at in kind of you're wrapping up the year. These are great projects to kind of try and, or dedicate yourself to trying in the next school year. So you can head over and access our trial from this link. And again, I will drop that into the chat. But yeah, thank you so much for joining us. We know we ran a little long, so thank you for hanging in there and seeing all this amazing content. David, many thanks, and for your collaboration. Alex, many thanks for your collaboration. It's been a wonderful experience with the both of you, and let's do it again.
Let's do it again.
Have a great day, everybody.
All right. See you next time. But until then, happy creating. Bye now.